Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, has been relentlessly subjected to cruel and baseless abuse online for years. The hurtful conspiracy theories surrounding her pregnancies have reached new, disturbing heights, casting a shadow over what should be one of the happiest chapters of her life. It's not just the usual harsh commentary. We're talking about vicious rumors alleging that she faked her pregnancies, using a surrogate and even wearing a moon bump to conceal the truth. For Meghan, the toll of these accusations has made her life a constant nightmare. When she and Prince Harry made the bold decision to step away from the royal family in January 2020, seeking peace and privacy in their new life in the United States, they hoped to find solace. They settled in the serene town of Montecito, California, raising their firstborn son, Archie, who had arrived the previous year. Their second child, Lilibet, was born in 2021, and yet, instead of the joy and celebration one would expect from such a momentous time, Meghan has been bombarded with cruel and unfounded accusations. The whispers started even before Lilibet's arrival. The idea that Meghan might have faked her first pregnancy with Archie quickly spread across the darker corners of the internet. But the situation grew even worse when Meghan posted a lighthearted video of herself dancing twerking, no less, while nearing the end of her second pregnancy. As she was preparing to give birth to Lilibet, the backlash was swift. People slammed the playful clip, claiming it was evidence that something wasn't quite right. But it wasn't just harsh criticism. The rumor mill went into overdrive as conspiracy theorists latched onto the video, fueling their bizarre beliefs that she was hiding the truth. The cruelty didn't stop with online comments. Meghan, once again, became the target of a smear campaign that saw her subjected to accusations that she had faked her pregnancies with prosthetic bellies, those infamous moon bumps. And the pain these accusations caused was more than just emotional. It took a toll on her mental health, her sense of peace, and her ability to share joyous moments with her family without fearing the backlash. Christopher Buzzi, a close friend of the Sussexes, recently spoke out about the baseless nature of these conspiracy theories, calling them exactly what they are: cruel and unfounded. Buzzi, who appeared in the couple's 2022 Netflix documentary, revealed the devastating impact these rumors have had on Meghan. In a heartfelt plea, he expressed his frustration over the way people were twisting Meghan's every action into something sinister. Meghan had merely posted a simple, joyful moment of dancing, something many women in her position can relate to in the final stages of pregnancy. What was meant to be a personal, light-hearted expression of joy was quickly weaponized by online trolls. This nightmare is what Meghan's life has become, Buzzi shared. Every joyful moment gets twisted into ammunition by people who've made destroying her their full-time job. And as much as Meghan tried to remain strong, there was a breaking point. Buzzi went on to ask the question that so many of us can relate to. Imagine being 9 months pregnant, your body aching, preparing to bring life into the world, and thousands of strangers are dissecting your every photo to prove your baby isn't real. The moon bump theory, in particular, highlights the disturbing lengths to which some will go to tear someone down. People who have never stepped foot inside a labor ward have claimed that the background in the video wasn't real, an absurd accusation. Others argued that Meghan's baby bump was too high, too smooth, or too oddly shaped, all of which, in their minds, was proof that she was wearing a prosthetic belly. In reality, the bumps and contours could likely have been caused by the simple movement of her body while dancing, or perhaps the medical equipment she was wearing across her bump, as many women do in the final weeks of pregnancy. For Christopher Buzzi, the moon bump conspiracy is more than just a cruel attack on Meghan's integrity. It's an assault on a woman who had been open and vulnerable about her struggles, particularly her heartbreaking miscarriage in 2020. The Duchess had bravely shared her experience in an essay for the New York Times, opening up about the deep emotional and physical pain she felt as she held her son Archie in her arms, knowing she had just lost another child. She has been an advocate for those who suffer in silence, and she has spoken out about breaking the stigma of miscarriage, something that often goes unspoken, leaving women to grieve alone. The response to her miscarriage was devastating. Instead of receiving empathy and understanding, some cruel theorists used her grief to fuel the narrative that her pregnancies were fake. Buzzi couldn't have put it more plainly. Here's a woman who bravely shared her miscarriage story to help other women feel less alone in their grief. She opened up about one of the most painful experiences a person can endure, and how do these conspiracy theorists respond? By claiming her subsequent pregnancies were elaborate hoaxes. This kind of rhetoric is not only cruel, but it is a direct attack on Meghan's humanity. It twists her most vulnerable moments into something sinister, questioning her very experiences as a mother and as a woman. The reality is that Meghan's strength and resilience in the face of such adversity should be celebrated, not torn down. The pain of her miscarriage is something that millions of women can relate to, and the courage it took for her to speak about it was, and remains, monumental. In the face of these allegations, Meghan continues to push forward, undeterred by the cruel narrative others seek to impose upon her. Yet, the emotional toll is undeniable. The darkness of these rumors threatens to overshadow the love she shares with Harry, Archie, and Lilibet, the very family she dreamed of creating. The constant barrage of negativity, from accusations of faked pregnancies to claims of surrogate motherhood, is draining, but Meghan's story is far from over. Part of the reason Meghan's story resonates with so many of us is because it speaks to a universal truth. We all deserve the right to be seen and heard as we truly are, without the weight of others' assumptions or cruelty. Meghan's strength in the face of this ongoing battle is not just a testament to her resilience. It's a call for empathy, understanding, and kindness. She continues to stand firm, fighting not only for her truth, but for the dignity and respect that every person deserves, regardless of their public image. And perhaps, in the end, that is what makes her journey so powerful. Amid the noise of falsehoods and the chaos of public scrutiny, Meghan remains steadfast, because at the heart of it all, her love for her family, her strength as a woman, and her commitment to speaking her truth are what will ultimately define her legacy. Meghan's story is one of resilience and persistence, but it's also about the lengths to which the public can go to dehumanize someone. Her experience highlights a dark side of fame, where personal struggles, moments of joy, and even simple acts of expression become fodder for criticism and conspiracy. She has become, in the eyes of many, a symbol of how harsh and unforgiving public life can be, especially when you're a woman, and even more so when you're a woman of color. The internet, a space meant to connect people, can quickly become a toxic pit of hatred and misinformation. But amid all this, what remains undeniable is the love Meghan shares with her family. Her relationship with Harry has been a constant source of strength, a reminder of how powerful love can be in the face of adversity. Their bond, forged in the spotlight and tested by public scrutiny, is a testament to their commitment to each other and their family. It's easy to forget, in the noise of the tabloids and the harsh glare of public opinion, that these are real people living through real experiences. Meghan's journey isn't just about surviving the cruelty of the public eye. It's about reclaiming her narrative, taking ownership of her story, and breaking free from the shackles of assumptions. She's not simply a pawn in the royal drama anymore, nor is she just a figurehead in a global media spectacle. She is, first and foremost, a woman, a mother, a wife, and an individual with her own voice and vision. She continues to push for a future where truth prevails over rumors, where women can speak freely without fear of being torn down for their vulnerability. For those who have watched Meghan's story unfold, it's clear that she's not backing down. She's never been one to shy away from controversy, but rather, she faces it head-on. Whether it's through her podcast, her writing, or her public appearances, Meghan is continuing to speak her truth. And with each passing day, she is showing the world that her voice is powerful, and that she will not let the narrative be dictated by those who seek to tear her down. What's perhaps most inspiring is that, even in the midst of all this noise, Meghan has not lost sight of the bigger picture. She continues to advocate for change, especially in the realms of mental health and women's rights. She is using her platform to push for a more compassionate and understanding world, one where people can share their stories without fear of judgment. It's a reminder that the fight for dignity and respect is not just for public figures. It's for all of us. Meghan's mission, at its core, is simple: to foster empathy and compassion in a world that often feels cold and divided. She's not just fighting for her own dignity. She's fighting for the dignity of every woman who has ever been judged, misunderstood, or silenced. Her journey is a call to action for all of us to challenge the narratives that seek to diminish us, to stand up against the cruelty that so often defines public discourse, and to support those who are bravely speaking their truth. As Meghan and Harry continue their life in Montecito, it's clear that they are finding their own version of peace. But the road to that peace hasn't been easy. It's been fraught with challenges, many of them unexpected and painful. But what stands out in their journey is the love and determination that has carried them through. They are creating a future for their children, one where they can grow up without the weight of old expectations or a world that seeks to put them in a box. It's a future where Archie and Lilibet can simply be children, free from the scrutiny that their parents have had to endure. For Meghan, the path ahead is about more than just defending herself against the falsehoods. It's about continuing to build a life where she can thrive, where she can share her voice without fear, and where she can inspire others to do the same. Her story is one of defiance against the toxic narrative that tries to define her, but it's also a story of love, hope, and transformation. Meghan is proving, with every step, that despite the darkness around her, light will always find a way through. As we reflect on her journey, let's remember that it's not just her story. It's a story that mirrors the struggles of many. It's a reminder that, even when the world feels like it's against us, we can still rise above. Meghan Markle's strength, grace, and unwavering determination are an inspiration to us all. In a world full of noise, she's choosing to let her truth ring loud and clear. And that, perhaps, is the most powerful thing of all.